All right, hey folks, what's going on? So we're going to get started today. We're going to show you how to do an improvised tourniquet today, okay? So let's talk about why we even need a tourniquet, right? So when we get on scene, we might have a patient, we try to stop a bleed with just our normal gauze, we lift up and such, and we're still bleeding all over the place, okay? We might see that bright red blood, arterial bleed, okay? And in that case, we're looking for needing a tourniquet there, okay? So when we get started, the first thing that we can do for an improvised tourniquet is we need to find our triangle bandages, okay? So this is something that we can use to make an improvised tourniquet, okay? So this is what the triangle bandage comes in this little package, okay? Looks nice, okay? And just like it sounds, it's a triangle, right? All right, and what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna roll it up, okay? And now we can make a tourniquet out of this. So now we're gonna pretend that Kimberly's got a bleed here, all right? So we got a bleed kind of going right here, all right? So we always wanna place our tourniquet more proximal, okay? So that's towards the center, all right? So we're gonna place our tourniquet here. Now we wanna make sure that we stay a few inches away from each of the joints, okay? And we don't wanna put the tourniquet right on, okay? Because we're trying to stop the blood flow from going out of the wound, all right? So we're gonna put our tourniquet on here, or our triangle bandage. Okay. All right. And now we need to use a windlass. So a windlass is really, for our improvised tourniquet, is just going to be anything sturdy. Okay. So we don't want to use anything like a pen or a pencil. Anything that's going to break, that's going to be no good. We don't want anything that's going to bend either. Okay. So we have some trauma shears here, right? So you might have these laying around anyways. So here we are. So we could just do another quick tie here. Okay. All right, so now we're all set up, and now we need to tighten this down, okay? So we're gonna give it a few turns here, as to not hurt Kimberly too much here. Okay, so now we're in this position, and now we wanna make sure this doesn't unravel, okay? So we're gonna wrap it against the way that it wants to unravel, okay? Okey-doke. So now we're still tight, okay? And depending on how much we have, we can tie it underneath, or we can go on top, okay? And then we can tighten down on top here. So, and what we're looking for when we're tightening this is we want to make sure that we stop the bleeding, okay? Because that's our big goal here. So we want to make sure the blood comes out, stops coming out. We don't want to feel a pulse anymore for our radial pulse, all right? We don't want to feel that pulse. We don't want the blood to be coming out. But the thing is that sometimes when we put a tourniquet on, we need a second one because the bleeding is still coming out, okay? So that's why these might come in handy, because maybe you only have one tourniquet on you, okay? But you might have these little packages of triangle bandages because they're so easy to carry. So in like wilderness things and such, this is a lot easier to carry on you, and then you can set something like this up. So when you do a second tourniquet, we want to make sure that we place that more proximally, right? So we're trying to cut off the blood flow before it even gets to this tourniquet more. Okay, and then afterwards, once we put on our tourniquet, okay, our first or our second one, we want to make sure that we note that time, okay, just to make sure that when we transfer care that we have that time written down, okay? All right, so what do we think of that, Kimberly? Looks good.
It hurts when you're putting this on your patient, but it's for the greater good.
Yeah, right. So definitely when you put this on, you want to talk to your patient about how this is going to hurt a lot, right? And if you have some bystanders to help you out, just because this is, you know, you don't want your patient to be punching you when you're saving their life, right? Alrighty. So I think that's all for today. So this is our improvised tourniquet, and this is how we set it up, okay?